You know that feeling, right? You're falling for someone, and it's this mix of total excitement and a little bit of fear. So, how do you actually let love in without setting yourself up for devastating heartbreak? It's a tough balance, for sure. And today, we're going to break down a strategy to help you figure that out. I mean, this is the big one, isn't it? The question we all ask ourselves when things start getting serious. And look, let's just be real for a second. You can't get rid of the risk entirely. Love, by its very nature, means being vulnerable. But that doesn't mean you're powerless. Not at all. And this quote right here, this is the heart of it all. The whole point isn't to build some giant fortress around your heart to block any chance of pain. No way. The goal is to build a strong foundation inside yourself so you're prepared for whatever happens. It's a huge shift in how you think about it. So where do we even begin? We start right here. With section 1, start with your foundation. Because it makes sense, right? Before you can build a healthy connection with somebody else, you've got to have a really solid one with yourself first. It all kind of boils down to these two ways of thinking. On one side, you've got this mindset of, I need someone to complete me. That's a lot of pressure to put on another person, and honestly, it leaves you in a really fragile spot. But the other side, I am whole on my own. Now that's powerful. You're not looking for a person to fix you or fill a void. You're looking to share your already awesome, complete life with someone. So how do you get there? Well, it starts with these 4 things. Really knowing your core values. That's your internal compass. Figuring out what you need in a relationship to feel safe and respected. And then setting those non-negotiable boundaries to protect yourself. When you do all this, you're strengthening your self-worth. And that's the real goal here. Because when you know who you are, a breakup might hurt, but it won't feel like you've lost your entire self in the process. All right, so once you've done that internal work and your foundation feels solid, you're ready for the next step. That brings us to section 2, build a healthy framework. This is all about the practical, hands-on stuff you do inside the actual relationship. These are basically the 4 pillars for building something healthy. First, you've got to go slow. Rushing in can really blind you to what's actually happening. Taking your time gives you the space you need to set clear boundaries, to really spot any potential red flags, and to build a habit of communicating openly. It's all about letting someone's actions over time show you who they really are, not just their words. And let's get super clear on what we mean by a boundary. It's not a threat. It's not an ultimatum. It's just a clear, calm way of saying, hey, this is what I need to feel safe and respected. Talking about your expectations around trust and honesty early on isn't being confrontational. It's just building a solid foundation from the start. And while you're communicating, you also have to be observing. Seriously, this might be the single most important skill of all, just paying attention. It is so easy to get swept away by romantic words and big promises, but a person's actual behavior, that's where the truth always lives. So what are you paying attention to? Stuff like this. When what they say and what they do just doesn't line up, when they're secretive or emotionally distant, any kind of controlling behavior. The bottom line is, you have to trust your gut. If something just feels off, you know what? It probably is. Okay, so we've got our personal foundation and a healthy framework for the relationship. Now we need the right perspective to keep it all going. Let's jump into section 3, adopt a wise mindset. This is really about how you position yourself emotionally for the long run. This is so important. When you make your partner the absolute center of your entire universe, you kind of lose your own center of gravity. That's why it is absolutely critical to keep up with your friendships, your hobbies, your personal goals. They are not distractions from the relationship. They'll be essential things that keep you grounded and make you who you are, with or without a partner. A great way to think about a healthy relationship is like a two-way street. The effort should feel like it's flowing in both directions. If you always feel like you're the one giving more emotional support, more respect, more effort, that's a big sign that things are out of balance. Now, it's not about keeping score and making sure it's exactly 50-50 every single day, but over time, you should feel like the effort is pretty much matched. This is such a powerful way to reframe everything. If you spend all your time and energy just trying to avoid a breakup, you're just going to be filled with anxiety. But what if you shift your focus? What if instead you focus on the process itself and just ask, is this connection healthy? Are we both growing as people? When you do that, you can accept that you don't know the future while still enjoying the present. So you've got the foundation, the framework, the mindset. And it all really comes down to this one last incredibly powerful idea, which brings us to our final section. Section 4, the one thing you control. Look, here's the fundamental truth of it all. You cannot ever control what another person feels or what they choose to do. Trying to is it's a recipe for disaster. But look at where your power really is. You have 100% control over your boundaries, your choices, and how you respond. That's your territory, and believe me, it is more than enough. And that brings us right here to the ultimate way to safeguard your heart. It's not about building a higher wall. It's about knowing you have a door. It's that deep, internal confidence that you are prepared to walk away from any situation that isn't right for you. Knowing you can and you will leave if you're not being respected, that is the greatest form of self-respect there is. So we'll leave you with this question to think about. Knowing you can't control anyone else, but you have full control over yourself, your choices, your boundaries, your readiness to protect your peace, how will you choose to build your own foundation and safeguard your heart?